Hi there, my name's Mark and welcome to Recovery Stretches for the Everyday Athlete. A nice short practice that you can do at the end of a workout, after a run, or even if you just need to take a little break in the middle of the day. So if you want to have blocks, have those close by. Otherwise, when you're ready, let's get started. We're going to begin taking a few simple rounds of cat and cow. So hands about shoulder width apart, knees under the hips, tuck the toes under. Just take a moment here just to begin to just gently move side to side. It's creating some movement and mobility into the wrists, the shoulders, the knees and the hips. Just moving in any particular way or direction that feels good. It's just creating some mobility into the body. And then take a moment to settle here in the center. So we want to look for fluidity through the spine. So take a breath in to prepare. And on the exhale, round up through the spine, separate the shoulder blades and tuck the chin in. And on the inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lengthen out through the neck. Just take a few rounds at your own pace. And you might even like to start to connect the breath with the movement. And so as you exhale over about 5 or 6 seconds, we round through the back of the body. And then as you inhale over about 5 or 6 seconds, we open through the front of the body. Most importantly though, just move at your own pace and focus on feeling the freedom of movement into the body. Good job. Pause there for a moment. We're going to make our way into our first stretch. So, keep the hips lifted. Reach your right arm forward and then take your left arm palm facing up into this half puppy twist. And so, tailbone stays lifted. And so you want to start to look for this length and this opening down the right side or down the straight arm. So if you've got your right arm forward, then it'll obviously be the right arm. If you went the other way, then it'll be the left side. And with the arm reaching under, palm facing up, you'll also feel a bit of a stretch there into the side of the arm, front of the shoulder. So we're going to do a minute on each side. And so what you want to do is, as you start to settle and relax into the stretch, just see if you can start to connect with a gentle abdominal breath. And so as you inhale and exhale through the nostrils, you want to feel that expansion into the belly and the ribs. Don't worry so much about the length of the breath, just keep it relaxed at your own pace. So it's less thinking, more feeling. All right, swap over, other side. So left arm or other arm reaches forward. And then take your opposite arm under with the palm facing up. And so once again, as you settle here, start to focus on the breath down the long side of the body. And so what we're doing here is also creating this space into the ribs. It's one of the areas that a lot of us tend to get really, really tight, especially if we don't focus on how we breathe or we don't breathe properly. And sometimes if we do a lot of training, we do a lot of upper back strength work, we tend to get quite tight in the muscles over the ribs, the lats, the upper back, the rhomboids, the middle upper back muscles. And so focusing on creating this expansiveness with the breath almost helps us stretch from the inside out. And so whenever we settle in any of these stretches, you want to bring your focus back to those expansive abdominal breaths. Good. Come back to the center. Nice work. And then from here, we're going to make our way into these half lifts. And so a couple of options. If you find that you're quite tight into the knees and the quadriceps, you might even just want to sit on a block and hold here. And so what you can do is you can take the hands behind, and then from there, just lift the hips up, engage the glute muscles, opening to the front of the body, then just gently drop back down. We're just going to do this for about a minute. And so inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And so focus on that same movement through the breath. So use the arms to support you. Inhale, lift, open the front. You might even start to look up to the ceiling. Exhale and release. Good job. We'll do this about 5 or 6 more times. So inhale, lift and open. Exhale, release. And so if you're sitting at a desk all day, if you do a lot of indoor cycling or outdoor cycling, a lot of running, a lot of sitting, we get tight here into the front of the hip flexor and the front of the quadriceps. This is nice to open and stretch. Good, one more. Perfect. All right, so from there, what you want to do is bring the knees in together and then take a seat onto the heels. And then from here, take your right hand out to the side and then take your left arm up and over. And so as we get this nice side body stretch, you want to anchor down through the left hip and then reach up through the left arm. Then walk your right arm out to the side. And so as we stretch over, we're walking out through the bottom arm as far as we can. We're anchoring down through the hip and then eventually you might even start to look up. And so think of it like you would in, say, a triangle pose or a side stretch. It's creating this length and opening into the side body, similar to what we did for that half puppy stretch. And then the more stretch you get, the more you walk the arm out to the side. Reach the top arm forward as far as you can. And take another 3 or 4 breaths here. Create that expansion into the belly. What that breath also does is it signals the nervous system to start to move into our parasympathetic state, rest and restore. Good work. Come back to the center and then switch over to the other side. So walk your left arm out, anchor the right hip down, and then reach the right arm over. And you can also do this sitting on a block, or you can even do this sitting in a chair if you need to sit in a chair. And there's always modifications that you can make. You might notice that one side feels a lot tighter than the other. For me, it's always my left side that's quite a bit tighter. And so if you notice those differences, you might even just want to place a little bit more time on the tight side for you. Let's take 2 more breaths. Maybe walk the arm out a bit further if you need to. Good job. Come back to the center. And then from here, we're going to make our way into a nice wide downward facing dog. So take the hands about shoulder width apart. And then I like to take the feet a little bit wider as well. So if you are a bit tight into the hamstrings and the lower back, wider feet will make this more accessible for you. And so from here, think about finding this upside down V shape through the body. Just take a moment to settle here. And then from there, you can start to alternate one heel down, one heel up. Take a couple of breaths into the calf muscle and Achilles on the straight leg, and then switch over to the other side. And you can just alternate at your own pace, right? So don't worry about me needing to cue you. Just feel into the length of the legs, maintaining this length into the spine. And if you notice that one side feels a bit tighter than the other, then you might just instinctively want to spend a little bit more time on that side, whatever that is for you. Good, one more. And then from there, we're going to step 1 foot forward, doesn't matter which side, in between the hands into this lizard lunge stretch. And so if you want blocks, grab a couple of blocks. If you just want to place the hand resting on the front knee to support you, then that's an option as well. We're going to take about a minute on each side. So relax the back foot down, lift the chest. And so from here, just think about relaxing into the hip flexor on the back leg. Lengthen out into the quadricep. And then if you want to start to walk the blocks forward a bit and just let the front knee start to shift forward at the same time as well. It's got about a minute or so on each side. Always looking for this length into the spine. So if you notice that you have a tendency to kind of want to round forward and close off the chest, use the blocks or bring the hand onto the front knee. You might even just place the hands there so you can lift the chest up. It's just really about finding what's most comfortable for you to be able to relax into the stretch. If you feel this sense of the body closing off and tightening up, then you need to find an option where the body can relax and settle. All right, switch over to the other side. Just a gentle switch. use the blocks, or you can bring the hands down to the floor, either side of the front foot if you prefer, or you might find that you just want to place the hands above the knee. Find the position where you can relax, breathe, and settle into the body, especially into the shoulders and the arms, and then shifting forward with the body weights. And then just settling here, focus on the breath. If you want to bring the hands to the thigh to lift the chest for the last few breaths, get a bit more length into the spine. So the more open you get, the more you can lift the chest up. Okay, good job. All right. So from here, let's make our way into little yogi squat. So if you want to use a block, you can use a block. Otherwise, what we want to do is take the feet out towards the edges of the mat, nice and wide. And so you might even just want to start here, lifting up onto the balls of the feet a little bit. And then if you find that you want to have a block, you can just have a block there. And then as you bring the feet down, you can take a seat on the block. And then from there, you want to think about lifting up into the chest. I like to take the palms facing up and then find that length into the spine, so I'm open into the chest and shoulders. If you don't need the block, you can remove the block and drop down here into this nice deep yogi squat. And so if you have the block there, it's going to support the body weight. If the block's not there, then you'll be using the body weight to deepen the stretch and the opening into the hips and the lower back. So once again, just choose whatever variation or option is best for you. Let's take another 3 or 4 breaths here. Okay, good job. And then from here, remove the block if that's there. Just gently take a seat and then extend out through both legs. Good job. Shake the legs out and make our way into some nice forward folds. So keep the right leg extended and then bring the left foot in beside the inner thigh. And so with this straight leg, remember to soften the knee as much as you need to. And if you want to have the blocks, you're going to have the blocks either side of the leg. And so from here, we're going to take a minute on each side. And so we just slowly start to fold forward. And so sometimes it's nice to have the blocks just to help with finding this length into the body. But remember, you don't need to have the leg completely straight. Everyone tries to have the leg straight, but what will happen is you might get a lot of pulling in the lower back. So you're best off having a slightly bent knee and this length from the lumbar spine and a much better quality stretch into the hamstring rather than trying to have the leg completely straight. Because then you'll notice that once you start to get a little bit of settling here, then you'll be able to work at straightening out the leg. Also, what I find having the blocks here helps to get that length into the upper body as well. But if you don't have the blocks, then all you need to do is just have one hand either side of the foot, and you're just gently walking the hands forward. Couple more deep breaths. And you might find that you want to stay in some of these stretches a little bit longer, so if you're doing this in your own time, you can just take it at your own pace. Slowly start to walk the hands in, then just gently switch over to the other side. So other leg or left leg forward, bring the first leg into the inner thigh, soften the knee up a little bit, then just slowly start to walk forward. Use the blocks if you want blocks, or if you've got books or anything like that. Doesn't matter, doesn't need to be anything fancy. And once again, you might find that one side, this is my tight side, the left, so it feels a lot different on this side of my body. So I need to focus more on the breath. Keeping the leg bent to begin with makes a big difference. And you'll notice that as the body softens, The breath just has the power to create so much space in the body. Remember that tightness is usually energy that's locked up and stored in the muscles, and so as we stretch and we breathe, we move that through. It's releasing lactic acid, releasing any sort of toxic buildup within the muscles. And sometimes that can just be a cumulative lactic acid buildup from a lot of training and not enough stretching. That's why taking this time is so good for the athletic performance in the body, creating muscles that are active and free of tightness and tension. Let's take another 2 or 3 breaths here. Good job. All right, slowly rolling up. And then just move the blocks out to the side. From here, we're going to lie down, face up. So make your way into the center of the mat, or wherever you are, and then just bring the knees in, gently roll backwards. Let's take a moment to settle here, bring the knees into the chest, and rest your shoulders down. And then from here, just take a hold of the inside of the feet into happy baby pose. And so from here, relax the shoulders. I like to just tuck the chin in slightly. And then you've got the feet flat up towards the ceiling. And if you want, you can also take the hands around the outside of the feet. That's a little bit more intense, so I find the inner foot is a good place to start. And then from there, it's like a baby would, just gently moving side to side. It's quite calming for the nervous system, so you'll notice babies do this posture because it's almost like a pacifier. And so a lot of what we're doing here is really bringing ourselves into that parasympathetic state where the body naturally moves into rest and digest, restoration and recovery and repair from a cellular level. Good job. And then from here, slowly bring both knees back in together. And so keep your right knee in and then extend out through your left leg. And then from there, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to twist over to the side. And so if you find that you're a little bit tight into the twist, what you might like to do is rest this top knee on a pillow or a block. And sometimes it's easy just to bring the bottom hip in a little bit. Then you can just drop into this restorative twist. And so this arm, what I like to do is take the palm facing down, then just gently start to walk the arm up. And so we get this really nice lengthening and opening. So it's a twist, but think about lengthening into the twist. So as you wring a towel out and you kind of wanted to lengthen the towel as you twisted it, think of that similar kind of activation and sensation into the body here as we twist. You just place the head wherever you want, whatever's more comfortable, looking up to the ceiling, looking towards the knee or away from the knee will be more intense. So just find the position once again where you can relax and let the body know that it's okay to switch off. Good. Come back to the center. Square off the hips. And then get ready to change sides. So left knee in, right leg extended. Take a breath in to prepare. And then as you exhale, twist over to the side. Bring the bottom hip in if you need to. If you want to rest this knee on a pillow or a block, please do so. And then with the arm just extending out to the side. Remember, find the length as we twist. So if you wring the towel out, you twist it. And it's like you're pulling on both ends of the towel to lengthen it at the same time. Take another 3 or 4 breaths here. Good job. Come back to the center. And then from here, bring both knees in so the feet are down flat. And then from here, knees into the chest, take the heels up, and then lift the hips, place the hands underneath the tailbone, or if you have a block or a pillow that you want to rest under the tailbone. We're going to take a minute here with legs in the air. And so this is really calming for the nervous system, also good to improve and increase the circulation in the legs. So if you've got lactic acid buildup in the legs, then this will help because obviously it needs to pump the blood a little bit harder to move up to the feet. So with the legs extended, there's a little bit more work in pushing blood flow through the legs. If you have a wall, you can throw the legs up the wall. So it's a little bit more restful for you. Otherwise, I find it's quite restful here. Just have the hands under the tailbone. Gives me that little bit of support for the lower back. The legs might start to shake a little bit, and you'll notice those sensations of energy moving through the legs. This may start to get a little bit tingly. That's fine. Just breathe through. It's just the energy shifting. One more breath. And then slowly release the hands, bring the feet down, and then bring the soles of the feet together. And take the arms out away from the body, palms facing up. And so we'll finish off here with a minute in supine butterfly and then a minute in relaxation. And so you want to just allow the knees to open out to the side. And as you settle here, you might even just like to gently let the body move side to side. And so as you do so, it's like you're settling into the hips and the pelvis. Just really gently. There shouldn't be any pinching in the lower back. If this is not great for the lower back, then just relax and stay still. And then as you do that a few times, just eventually pause and just let things settle in their own place. And then from here, think about tucking the chin in. Get that length into the spine. You might even like to start to soften the eyes down. Maybe even close the eyes down. And so we want to start to feel everything really slow down. And so we're bringing ourselves into more of a conscious state of rest and recovery. And then from there, when you're ready, extend out through the legs. Take them nice and wide to at least shoulder width. Keep the arms where they are. And just feel those sensations of energy moving through the body as you release. And then for the next 30 or 40 seconds, just see if you can let the body be as heavy and relaxed as possible. You might even like to take a deep breath in through the nose. Then relax the jaw and take a clearing exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Take a big deep belly breath, so feel the belly expand. Breathing in. Yes, letting go of the breath. And then eventually bring the hands together, take a big stretch, all the way up overhead, reaching out from feet to fingertips. Bring the knees into the chest. Rolling over to the side or gently rolling up. Then making your way into any seated position you prefer, either cross-legged or kneeling. Just take a moment to settle here, find that length into the spine, palms down. Just might like to move the hands up and down the thighs a few times. And so what we're doing is Just moving that energy through the legs, grounding down into the physical body. And then you might just like to take the feet wide, move down into the legs. Good, ground down into the ankles for a moment, lift the chest. And then just split the feet a little bit and just move down the feet. So moving from the heel to the big toe, into the second toe, so the toes are connected to the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. All the elements we're made of. Good job. Bring the feet back together. Hands on the thighs. Just take a moment to settle there. Take a couple of breaths. Just notice how the body feels. Nice work, everyone. As always, thanks for joining. Great to see you. Any questions, feel free to reach out on Instagram, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.